First, it's not a process. It's a pathway. And yes, you can transfer the pathway. You can transfer the intention. And you have to be clear on the specifics of each situation and each country, each sector. Is there a gesture that is transferable? Is there an intention that is transferable? A set of guardrails, if you want, or phases, or status that we can follow through it. But the point is understanding where we are coming from. And the main question is understanding what I am committed to. And that is different. That answer is the starting point for everything, and it's from where we need to build upon.
I think it's really interesting. It is about what pathway you are committed to. So coming into this process with preconceived notions of which countries or cultures may find this way of working, may find this new set of gestures and values easier, perhaps, than others. What's surprised me very pleasantly, it is down very much to individuals who have these skill sets, but they are sort of unspoken. They haven't been able to bring them into being. And that ability to re-see some of your own skill sets and place them in a new context and achieve more with groups is something very powerful. And yes, it's down to the willingness of the individual, I would say, to walk a particular pathway.
The question for me and my experience is very much connected with having clarity on the gesture and then asking, where are you and what are you committed to? This is the most powerful technology that normally we forget to use, that is asking and being in inquiring of trying to understand what is your reality and what are you up to? And from here, is there a gesture that we can replicate from culture to culture, from sector to sector, but considering always the specificity of the concrete situation?
What's become very clear to me was we were a group that deeply wanted to let others participate in our process because we wanted our process to be more successful. It's a very different gesture that the group, I feel, is capable of starting to make now, that we invite you to see a possibility with us, and if we can get clarity, we will step into that space together, which has been a great deal more powerful in achieving what we thought we wanted to for our own purposes on our own. Certainly. So it's had a tremendous power for unlocking conversations that I think wouldn't have otherwise happened when our gesture was join us and do what we would like, and not that gesture of I am simply willing to listen.
That is something that we observe in several situations, that is to achieve a new platform, a new level of complexity in the change. We cannot do it by our own or inviting others to our process. We need to act from a different space because we need to invent new pathways and create those new pathways. It's being able to say, I have no idea how we go there, but we will discover together. Because we are trilling a path that wasn't never trilled. It's the first time that someone is proposing themselves to do that pathway. So that's what we are up to.
The tremendous personal capability and capable of a group to move backwards very quickly. And it's actually why not just learning these new skills, but creating learning communities to support one another around doing these things and being consistent in wanting to make these sorts of very open, embracing gestures, not just the come here, do what we want, or we are closed to certain views. It's difficult to embed that. A lot of groups who are very focused on big change, let's not forget, mostly they have been really focused on particular things for a long time and just really getting them done. So there's a certain amount of that on the journey of getting good at achieving change. I feel, we are starting to tread a path where we see greater possibility, I hope, but it is difficult to stay on that path, I'd freely admit.
The biggest challenge is to stay in that pathway when we do not have the clarity of our commitment. When we do have that clarity and we come back again and again to that base commitment, it's much easier to keep on going. And we're not used to do that often. So that is a challenging part.